Hey guys, welcome to Craft Treat. I'm here today with a great project showing you how to use the scrapbook templates by Craft Treat. I'm going to be using the basic 6x6 album template today, and you'll see how easy and fun it is. So gather your supplies and let's get started. I'm going to be talking about the new scrapbook templates by Craft Treat. This is the basic 6x6 album, and this is what the whole thing comes like in a plastic bag. You have the kit contents here, the list of the kit contents, and the basic 6x6 has one black and one craft album. And these are some of the ideas on how you can decorate the album. Now when I turn this around, you can see that there is all the pieces, the diagrams of all the pieces with the measurements. So you know exactly what your kit contains. Now I have one set here, which is the craft set, which we are going to be using today. When I open this, you'll find that it has all the pieces needed. This is the cover page. Then you have pieces of chipboard. This is for the spine and these are for the sides. And then you have these 6 pieces, which are basically the pages. And you also have these 2 pieces, which are the gussets. Now, I'm not very good at making scrapbook albums. In fact, this is the first one which I'll be making. And one of the things which has really intimidated me always is all the cutting and the scoring and the measuring which is needed. But with these templates, it is super easy. Everything is pre-measured for you, pre-scored. So you just need to follow the instructions and just assemble the scrapbook. So let's get started. We will start by assembling the cover. Now, wherever you have the score lines, I'm going to use a Teflon folder to score them. You can see how easy it is to fold these. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is take the chipboard for the spine and just stick it here. Now I'm going to be using regular liquid glue for this. You can also use thin double-sided tape if you want. Just remember that whatever adhesive you use, it has to be very strong. Now I'll just leave this to dry. Till that time I'll start working on the sides. Now you'll see these pieces fit exactly, and you can actually fold it like this. But now one of the most common problems I've noticed with scrapbook albums is they tend to crack. The spine from behind, this portion tends to crack if there is not enough space in the middle for the page to turn. So I've discovered a very simple hack for this. What I'm going to do is take my chipboard piece and I'm just going to slice off a little bit from here. What you basically need to be, it needs to be the thickness of two of your chipboards put together. Now when I put these 2 pieces of chipboard together, this thickness is around little less than 0.5 centimeters. So I'm just going to align this on my cutting board and just cut off half a centimeter from one side. I'll do the same with the second piece. So now when I take this piece, You'll see there is a gap which remains here. And this gap is enough, it forms kind of a hinge when you close the album, and that will prevent the cracking. I'll just take some liquid glue again. Just make sure you apply your glue generously to the back of the chipboard so that it sticks firmly to your paper. And you need to align it on this side with the scope. Now I'll let this dry. Until then I'll start working on the pages. I'm going to be using the Poppy Lane 12 by 12 pattern paper set by Craft Treat to decorate my scrapbook pages and also to create the cover. I've already selected the papers I'm going to be using, and I've cut them slightly smaller than this. Now this is a 6 inches by 6 inches paper, and then there is half an inch of the stamp, which is basically what sticks the paper to the scrapbook. 6 by 6 inch stamp. What I have done is I have cut this paper slightly smaller, so it is actually 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And to mimic this, I have also rounded the corners with a 10 mm corner rounder. So now all that I need to do is just stick this. But before I do that, I'm going to just score the stamp. Again, use a bone folder to do this. And for the pages, I'm going to do it on both sides so that they'll flip easily. So just make sure you remember where the rounded corners are, and then take your liquid glue . Again, you can also use double-sided tape on this if you want. Okay. So now I'll do it for rest of the pages and come back. Now all my pages are ready. You can see I've covered them on both sides with paper. So I'll set these aside now. Now these are the two gusset pieces which basically strengthen the hinge from the inside. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score them. To score them, just gently push the paper along the fold line. Till it bends to avoid cracking. Okay, our gusset pieces are ready now. Now I've stuck the chipboard. Now you'll see when I fold it, it folds very easily without the paper cracking. There is no strain on the paper here because we've put this little gap here. This trick I learned from Kathy Orta. I'll give you the link to her YouTube video in the description. It is a great hack if you have problems with the spine cracking. And she also gives you some tips on how to fix a spine which is cracked. So do check that out. I'm just going to apply glue here. The next step is to stick the gussets. Now I'm going to teach you a little trick which I found very useful. What I'm going to do is apply the glue and stick only one part of the cassette. So I just center the score over the fold. Do the same on this side. These are the pages. I'm going to apply glue only here. Just make sure you don't put any on the beyond the score line, only here. Just the tab which needs to be stuck down. Be generous with your glue, or better still, use a thin double-sided tape. And then align this edge. Also make sure you align the top edges. Now for the next one, you have to align it with this at the end of the tab, so there is a ½ inch gap between the pages in case you want to put any embellishments, any chipboard. That takes care of the thickness. Now the final one aligns to this, so that you have the pages evenly spaced. Now I'll let this whole thing dry completely because I don't want the pages to shift. Now our basic album is ready. You can see it, how the pages are distributed evenly inside. Now if you remember, we left this part of the cassette free. We haven't glued it together. This is where my little hat that I worked out after watching Kathy Ota's video comes in handy. What I'm going to do is now I'll just put some glue here first. What you need to do is put it like this and then keep the cover page and the spine at a slight angle, and then you stick the cassette. What this does is gives this paper a little give so that your spine won't crack when you close the album. Now I'll let this dry. Until then we'll assemble the cover page. Decorate the cover. I'm going to use these two chiplet sets. It's the white flowers chiplet set, and these are some borders. I've already removed the chiplets which I need. I've also cut this piece out of the journaling cards sheet, and this square which is 5.5 by 5.5 inches, and I've rounded all 4 corners. So you'll see this just fits exactly. This is how I'm planning to layer it. I've already cut these pieces of foam tape. So I'll just take some glue. Leave this to dry now. Now that our cover page is complete, all we need to do is take our album and just stick this on top. I'll handle this very carefully since the glue is still drying. A basic 6x6 album is ready. You can see the pages inside. Now these you can decorate them the way you want. The one last thing that I'm going to do is stick these bits of pattern paper on the inside pages, and then the album is done. I'm just being careful because the outer embellishments are still a little wet. I don't want to shift anything there. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial and will give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for many more videos. Bye.